everyone. My name is Eric Miller. I'm a mortgage and real estate expert, and you're watching Beyond the Baseboards. This is a free-flowing podcast-style show where we bring in local community real estate experts. We talk about what's really happening in their market, as well as things inspirational and motivational around the rest of the real estate industry. This is a show for anybody that's interested in learning more about real estate, finance, or those working in the business. Whether you're buying a home for the first time or a long-time investor or real estate agent helping them, my hope is that you'll get something out of every show and that it makes a difference for you. On this episode of Beyond the Baseboards, we're talking with an excellent real estate agent and team leader, Erika Poindexter. She's smart and down to earth. I just love her energy, and I'm sure you will too. Let's talk about Auburn, California and the surrounding areas with the star of this episode, Erika Poindexter. You're an expert in Roseville and then Auburn, right? South Auburn. Tell me about the area. What is it about the area? You had referred to it in one of your videos as it's like a little hideaway, a little hidden pocket, little gem. Tell everybody what that gem is.
I live in the best
gem.
Yeah, I live in the best part of California. This is the best part of California. We're about 30 minutes from Sacramento. I can get to Lake Tahoe in an hour and a half. I can get the beach. Some beaches an hour and a half. Some like Santa Cruz is 2 hours away. So I don't have to live in tourist town, but I can be there whenever I want to be there. And our schools, we have some of the best top rated schools in the whole state. We're 30 minutes in Auburn. There's hiking, biking, rivers, like every kind of nature that you could even want to imagine is just up the road. And we're not the most expensive place to live here. I mean, it's California. It's not cheap, but there are a lot more expensive places to live in California than here. So you get so much lifestyle for the money.
What's the average sales price right now in Auburn?
Yeah, we're about $550.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you seen it grow over the last 2 years? What's been the growth cycle of, let's say, the last 36 months or so?
Yeah, so it's been crazy, just like everywhere else. So because we're so close to the Bay, when people can't afford to live there, they come here so that they are able to commute. And also, we have a range of properties. You could be in the suburbs or you could go buy something with acreage within miles of each other. So there's a ton of range of options of what kind of lifestyle and what kind of living you want to have. But with that Bay Area migration, it's always driven our prices. COVID made that worse because when everybody doesn't ever have to go back to the office, this is where they want to be. And so we've just been seeing incremental price growth, and then it just exploded even more.
When you talk about the pandemic, every area of the country kind of dealt with it a little differently. And I imagine even within states, there were different reactions. What was it like last year in Auburn? What was it like? And how do you think it differed did it differ from the rest of the state or?
No, I don't think so. I think the city centers, LA, San Francisco, any of the bigger cities saw something totally different than what we did because we're a more desirable, like I said, lifestyle place than being in a big city, plus affordability. So we saw a ton of growth where they saw people leaving. Mm-hmm. But then everybody from my area is moving to Arizona, Utah, Idaho, whatever, because now affordability is just getting pushed.
Yeah. So in general, do you think that what do you think is causing the lack of inventory and the house prices to go up so fast?
Yeah. So if I was an economist, it's supply and demand. I'm trying to buy a car. Like literally this morning, I was looking at buying a car and I was explaining to the car salesman, I was like, it's the exact same thing. I've got a decent car with a decent payment, but I'm trying to upgrade. And because of the lack of inventories, same issue in the car businesses we're having, jumping up to the next level is expensive. And I think a lot of people are having that problem with housing. So our bottom housing market, there's not a lot of listings because they don't have anywhere to go. And they don't want to afford, double their mortgage to be able to move into something bigger, to move into the next nicest neighborhood or whatever that is. And so whatever their life situation is, it's not like, sometimes if they're like, oh, I had a baby and we need this space, they're willing to make the change. But if they just want the space, they're not moving. And it's creating a significant inventory shortage than what we had before. Plus, if they refied over the pandemic and they're at 2%, 2.5%,
yeah,
they're going to see a giant payment jump because taxes, insurance, and their rate's going to be higher. So it's just, it's a bigger decision for people than it has been in the past. It's not just a few $100s more. And I think that that's keeping people in place longer.
This might not be your area, but one thing I noticed in Arizona is that the rental rates have like skyrocketed. Have you seen the same thing there?
Rentals are so expensive, and that's part of what's driving demand. There was a listing in Loomis, which is my favorite town, for a rental. It was $1,700 a month for a studio. Wow. And it's expensive. And so people are looking and they're like, okay, well, what can I afford in a mortgage for that same amount? And they are saving money by making a purchase rather than renting, even at the house prices that we're seeing right now, because rates are so good. But those first-time home buyers, they're competing because there's just not enough at the bottom for them to buy. I mean, it's just when you've got 10, 15 offers on a property, that's 9 to 14 people who didn't buy something, and there's not another house for them to choose from.
Mm-hmm. So you said Loomis is your favorite town?
Loomis is my favorite.
Tell me why.
It is next to the suburbs, and on your way to Auburn. It feels really rural, but you're really close to everything. And it's keeping its small town feel as much as it can, little festivals, cute downtown shopping. You can walk into a restaurant down there and if you're around enough, people know who you are, and it's just, it's home. It feels really good there.
Sounds pretty wonderful.
I love it.